I hope like a heck that I've chosen the right one. I believe this should be the home map of Memento. So welcome back everyone to game number 2 for in this best of 5 series between Chirpas and Memento Mori. For the Australian Open. These two guys chilling it out, kicking it back in Division B. We're still in round 1. Yes, I know there have been a lot of games, absolutely, but here we are. We have another game between these two guys, and as I was saying before, us Kiwis, we can never spell. Absolutely, spelling is not something we normally do. We're too lazy to speak correctly. Why would we bother spelling? This will be the home map of Memento Mori, who unfortunately went down in their last game, and he has chosen, by the looks of it, Islands, I believe. So let's introduce the man himself. The man himself is playing down to the southern sort of island here, or the southwestern island, I guess, playing in the blue trunks this time. And he is playing as the Vikings, a fantastic water civilization, arguably, not even arguably, just is the best water civilization um, in AOC. His opponent today, playing up to the northeastern sort of edge of the map, in the red trunks, is Chirpas, and he has chosen the Mayans today for this one, which is fun to see because this was Hidden Civilization pick. It's not like he had to random it up, and if he knew the map was going to be islands, so it's an interesting choice for him that he has gone for the Mayans. Maybe that gives us a bit of an insight into what he is going to be going for, i.e. maybe he doesn't want to go too heavily into the Grush. Maybe he wants to land and get some plumed archers over onto his opponent's edge or side of the map. Yeah, Mayans. I mean, I don't know if anyone's got any ideas why Mayans would have been a potential pick on islands, then by all means hit me up. But what I personally would have preferred to go for the old Vikings pick. That we can see down here for Memento. And in saying that, let's have a look at his map, see if there's anything drastic that we need to focus on here. So we can see that he has stone right on the shoreline, a little bit nasty for him. He has 1 gold, which is definitely going to be harassable from the water if he loses water control by any galleys, war galleys, galleons, and such kicking in from this edge of the map here. I do believe that this gold pile here is going to be quite safe and quite accessible for him, even if he does lose water control. Another stone pile out to the eastern flank of his base. Weird pick. Chirpas will try land. That's what I was kind of thinking as well. So what I'm thinking out here is that there's another stone for the Vikings player that is a little bit far away, or a little bit close to the shoreline for my liking. Now we'll have to see where these guys, I hope these guys do decide to dock this time, because I absolutely adore galley fights. I adore galley micro. But anyway, let's have a look at Chirp's map and see what he might be planning. He has one of his golds very, very close to the shoreline as well. A little bit unfortunate for him that his island starts to narrow quite considerably in this sort of region here, meaning that this gold here is definitely hittable from the water. I want to say this gold here is going to be pretty safe for him to take, as well as potentially this stone, so he should be okay there. Obviously the Mayans normally want to get castles up, at least on land maps. They normally want to get castles up to start rocking out with those plumed archers. Maybe that is a strategy that Chirp might be going for here, but we'll come back to that in just a second's time. I believe that is all the resource. Okay, I lied. There's another stone at the back of his base here as well. Now the first dock having been thrown up for Memento. Where has he done it? Well, he's done it in the place that I always love to see docks. He's gone for an aggressive forward dock, and it's not the worst dock position ever actually, because he does have access to a few deep fish here, which is going to help tie him over into the feudal age and maybe even beyond. So an aggressive forward dock, what I always like to see, and we can see that's definitely not a forward dock. That is a side dock for our red Mayan player Chirp, and unfortunately he has kind of shafted himself quite a bit in the fact that he hasn't actually got any deep sea. Well, I suppose he's got this deep sea fish here, but a little bit unfortunate for him that he also has this island here to contend with. In terms of the fact that there's not going to be any deep sea fish on this island, which is a little bit unfortunate. For him, a better dock position obviously would have been towards this sort of area of the map, but there's no way he would want to make his villagers walk all the way up here just to get a nice dock position. But the only thing is, sure, it's okay going for a side dock or a back dock if you're not planning on being that offensive. It's a little bit unfortunate when you get that dock up and find that, oh crap, there's actually no deep sea fish anywhere around. Now, a couple of people in the chat bringing up very, very good points that Mayans, they're a fantastic civilization, sure, but they are not going to be able to really contend too well with the Viking player. here. So a couple of you guys in the chat bringing up very good points that maybe Chirp might want to go for a bit of a sneaky landing, and that could also be. I mean, it's viable. It's definitely viable. It could be really fun to see. Although, like I said, I do love seeing. I do love seeing Grush. I do love seeing water. Sorry, Galley Micro. I love seeing that. It's just fantastic to watch. I really enjoy it. But at the same time, if Chirp does decide to go for a transport and then land some I don't know, eagles or crossbows or something across to the other side, that could also be pretty devastating and pretty fun to see. So both of these guys here, just building up their Dark Age economy. And it doesn't look like either of them are really going to be going for a super fast, super strong uptime in terms of crushing. And Chirp still a ways away from clicking up to the Feudal Age, and I suppose the Feudal Age upgrade is very, very close coming in for our blue Viking player Memento here to the west of the map. But not really sure what's cracking there. And yeah, this is something that I don't like to see as well. If you're going for a Grush, then you should definitely not be putting a mill up in the Dark Age, more or less what we can see here from our blue player as well. Unfortunately, does he have the food to click up? Yeah, he's got the food to click up now. Not the quickest uptime, but to be fair, it's still a pretty decent uptime, and he will be able to get some more docks up and really start putting the pressure on his opponent. And I can almost see um, I can almost see why this was a home map pick for Memento, as he seems to have a Grush build a lot more solidified and worked out than his opponent. Although in saying that, Chirp has now also clicked up to the Feudal Age, and he's actually gone up on 27 population. So why does this always do this? It's quickly switch over the fishing ships and make sure that we can see them in the spectator overlay there, and we can see the amount of villagers that Chirp has gone up with is 24 villages. That's quite a few villages, as well as having a few fishing ships out and about as well. Of course, they're not as efficient as his opponent's fishing ships, but still, I mean, 24 vils going up versus 20 vils, it's quite substantial. We can see a barracks coming down here for Chirp as well. And how many villages is he sending over to gold? Well, a shit ton is the answer. Obviously, 4 villages would be sufficient to keep archers coming out of one range, or to go for a 3 dock grush. But the fact that he's throwing up a barracks, the fact that he's probably going to start sending his Eagle Scout over in a transport ship once the feudal age has been researched, along with 4 villages, means that anyone else or anyone in the chat who was saying, yeah, he's probably going to go for a landing, he's probably going to do something along those lines. Oh, these guys are actually going to start mining stone. Maybe Octagonal Dick might be getting a little bit excited now. Let's just wait and see what happens. Is it going to be a landing trush with archers? That could be something exciting to see. Let's quickly switch back over to Chirp's point of view, just so we can maybe get an idea as to what this cheeky wee badger is going to be planning. We can already see that 2 docks have come up for his opponent here. Possibly an archer landing. That's exactly what I was anticipating, or what I was thinking as well. What can we see? We can see a transport ship coming straight out from Chirp. He's not messing around. He doesn't want to piss around with this silly galley meta crap. He knows exactly where the docks are from his opponent, so he's going to be like, right, let's stay quite clear of these docks, and let's maybe potentially land somewhere down here, land across some archers, maybe go for a bit of a cheeky wee trush as well, and this is going to be fantastic, fantastic. Fantastic to see. I don't know whether a fast castle Eagles is really on the cards here. He doesn't quite have the resources for it, and he has moved a lot of villages over onto gold, so I can only imagine that we're going to be seeing the archers on his on his opponent's mainland here. Now, where are the galleys? Well, the galleys from his opponent, Memento, have been created. They have been queued up. They have been spewed out, but they are actually going the wrong way. And at this stage as well, Chirp has only 2 fishing ships. One he is used as a scouting fishing ship. The other one he is using as a marathon runner. So I really don't think his economy is going to suffer too much if he loses 1 fishing ship. Although in saying that, he doesn't actually have many farms up. 6 farms, people. 6 farms are how many you need to keep villages coming out of 1 TC for a standard civilization with their wheelbarrow. And he, at the moment, has only got 1 farm and only 5 villages on berries. So the villager lead that Chirp had is probably going to start falling behind just a little bit, as maybe his town centre starts to fall a little bit idle, especially once he gets the fletching upgrade in as well. It's going to be very, very hard on his economy, and he's really going to have to make this landing worth it in terms of the economic damage that he can do to his opponent. There we go, fletching coming in for him now as well. The villagers on the transport ship, they've got, oh no, there's the eagle. I was going to say, didn't he transport the eagle across? But he did. And now Chirp is going to be able to scout out his opponent's base and see, hey, where are these spots? Where are the nice spots? Where are the eco locations that I can start hitting my opponent in? Now, what can we see? Well, he's going to throw down an archery range. So anyone in the chat was saying, hey, landing archers, give yourselves a pat on the back. And, oh, this is nice. Memento's actually leaving this fishing ship completely alone. Oh, it's so sweet. But we can see a blacksmith now being thrown up for Memento as well. And in my opinion, he should be thinking something along the lines of, hey, I've seen the dock. Wait, has he actually seen the dock? Let me just rewind just a little bit. He hasn't seen the dock. He hasn't seen a dock from his opponent, which means potentially his opponent's not actually going to be going for a grush at all. Maybe he should be thinking he could be doing some funky business with landing. Potentially a good idea would be to get up a barracks and get out some skirmishers or archers of my own to defend against any landing that could be incoming. Chirp, on the other hand, thinking, haha, you don't know I'm here. So I'm going to go ahead and build a tower behind one of your wood lines. Now you're going to have to suffer the inconvenience and suffer the nuisance of having to relocate all of your lumberjacks to your other lumber line. Fletching having been researched now for both players, and there it is. There it is indeed, ladies and gentlemen. We can see that the watchtower has been up or has been created, and there is an archer or two or three or however many inside this archery range. Alright, so there's two archery ranges, two archers inside this archery range, and a defensive watchtower being thrown up in haste, in earnest, in the economy here of Memento. An interesting location for that for that watchtower as well. A second archery range now coming up for Chirp, as well as another house. You've got to make sure you don't get housed, because getting housed is a pain in the butt. Now here we go. This is the thing as well. Memento knows that, okay, he's got villagers on my island. This is not good. This is not what I wanted to happen at all. And I can hear attacking going down, and he's thrown down a barracks at the back of his base. That's what I wanted to see. This villager here, maybe we'll get the better of that eagle warrior. We'll have to come back and check on those two lads in just a little bit. The three archers, three archers. The three archers from Chirp coming over. Okay, well, he got the villager pick, and then he got the crap smacked out of him after that. Now, what scouting did Chirp do of his opponent's island? Well, he knows he knows there's something coming up over here. He also knows that this woodline has had to be completely evacuated, and now he knows that he's going to start heading into the economy of his opponent. Is Chirp actually mining stone back at home? That's something we could check. Well, no, he is not. Like I said, this stone here a little bit too harassable. He could target down that stone, or start gathering from that stone if we really wanted. But this is a huge pick from Chirp. He's managing to get in there, and he's managing to start taking down. Is that another archery? 3 archery range landing. Chirp is not messing around. I feel like he is thinking, what the hell is the castle age? We do not need that for the time being. Let's start picking off villages left, right, and centre. 39 villages to 34 in favour of Chirp. He is putting the pressure on his opponent. Another villager going down. Does he have loom? He does have loom. They're just going down as easily as, oh, there's a joke in there, and a cheeky laming bastard. Well, not even laming, just the BM. He's just taking the berries of his opponent. He's like, you're not gonna need these. I've just killed all your villagers that were using them, mate. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna start eating them now as well. Now, if only Chirp would start heading up into this northern area. I mean, he scouted that. Oh, he's gonna go for them. Oh, there we go. He's found it. He can get a villager pick here as well. And Memento is in a pile of shit. He can throw up a defensive watchtower, which is going to be really strong for him, since it is going to be able to zone Chirp off getting any sort of aggression on the villagers that were mining the gold, the villagers that were mining the stone. But of course, Chirp is just going to be a wee bit cheeky, and he's going to start mining his opponent's gold anyway. Now, what Chirp could do is come in here, sit underneath this watchtower, and just idle the crap out of the gold mining and stone mining villages of his opponent. Now, the dock has finally been found for the dock of Chirp has finally been found, but at this stage the damage has irrevocably and inevitably been done to his opponent. There is no way that taking down that dock now is really going to be able to unwind anything that has happened. The 3 archery ranges compared to the 2 from his opponent, Memento, with padded archer armor coming in for Chirp, as well as mixing in some skirmishes to defend against the inevitable archers and or skirmishes that could be coming up from his opponent. And this is exactly what I wanted to see from Chirp. Just sitting underneath the watchtower here, really, really strong. There's got to be some amount of villagers just sitting in this tower, nice and idle. And Chirp is playing a really, really strong game, as he was mining stone back at home, and now he's throwing up a watchtower just out, actually, unfortunately, just in the range of this Viking watchtower here from Memento, deleting that and looking to reconsider his life options and building a tower in a different location. If Chirp could send some archers round into this wood, into this lumber line here from Memento, these couple of archers, so much eco damage, so much harassment would be able to be done to his opponent, especially since a lot of Memento's attention is being diverted to these archers that are idling his gold mining and his stone mining income at the moment. Unfortunately, these archers here are going to get cleaned up before the archer of Chirp is going to get cleaned up, and now the idle time that is coming in here for Memento is absolutely huge. A 9 villager lead is what Chirp holds over his opponent. Now he's starting to move his archers around, and he's paying enough attention as well to realize that, hey, this guy here is trying to mine stone in a different location. Let's get my archers in there and let's get my archers in there and let's start taking out some more villages. 45 villages it is to 37. Chirp is playing this so incredibly strong. Got to remember that there are 8 villages, or rather 5 villages, tied up idle inside of this tower, and it's starting to look a little bit dicey for Memento here. Chirp sitting on a crap ton of gold. Obviously the mine the mine archers are cheaper than other civilizations as well, so that's probably going to be adding. He's mixing in skirmishes every now and again. It's going to be adding to the fact that this 1k gold is going to be starting to add up. All Chirp needs to do now is just chuck down a monastery, a market back at home, buy himself up to the castle age, and then start really damaging his opponent. The buildings, military production buildings, town centers, towers, everything with the siege workshop once he gets up. These units over here have well and truly paid for themselves. Sure, Memento's coming over here now and he's cleaning it up. Sure, his units, or his villagers garrisoned inside this tower can now get sent back to work, but it is a little bit too late in my opinion. Even more harassment coming in from the archers here on the wood line from Chirp, and this is looking well and truly over for Memento at this stage. Town Watch coming in, nice upgrade, but you don't really need Town Watch to see that you are in a really bad position, my friend. Again, someone in the chat saying, why doesn't he just buy his way up to the castle age? And the only thing that I can respond to with that is maybe he's not paying enough attention to realize that, holy crap, I have 1k gold. Maybe I do need to start buying my way up. At the same time, it's looking more or less over for Memento at this stage anyway, and he's recognizing the situation, calling GG, well played. And indeed, it was very well played from Chirp. A really strong game from him, not falling for the meta bullshit, not going for the grush, not going for the water control, just landing his opponent and disrupting the snot out of Memento and eventually grinding him into the dust. So let's go ahead and make the score 2-0 to reflect the fact that Chirp is on an absolute roll here as he takes the lead, or well, continues to take the lead, holds the lead, I guess you could say, and moves into match point in this best of 5 series between these two players. So what we'll do, once again, as always, we'll switch the scene back over, and I'll see you guys in just a moment's time for game number 3.